You know that person who makes everyone laugh? The one who has a joke for everything. The one who turns their worst moments into the best stories. The one who, when something genuinely terrible happens, somehow comes out with the most perfectly timed line in the room. Yeah, pay attention to that person. Because behind the funniest people you've ever met, there is almost always a story they haven't told straight yet. One they've only ever delivered with a punchline attached. Because somewhere along the way, they learned that pain with a punchline is survivable. Pain without one is just pain. Here's what nobody tells you about people who use humor to cope. It's not a defense mechanism in the way most people think. It's not avoidance, exactly. It's transformation. They take something that could break them, and they reshape it into something that makes the room laugh, into something they can control, into something that no longer has the power to just sit there and hurt. Psychologists call this adaptive humor, and research consistently shows it is one of the most sophisticated coping mechanisms a human being can develop. It requires intelligence, emotional awareness, timing, and the ability to simultaneously hold pain and distance from pain at the same time.
That's not weakness. That's an advanced psychological skill most people never develop. But here's where it gets complicated. The same mechanism that protects them also isolates them. Because when you're always the funny one, nobody thinks to check on you. Nobody asks if you're okay because you seem like the last person who wouldn't be. You've trained everyone around you to expect performance. And performance, by definition, doesn't need an audience to ask how it's doing. They become the emotional support of every room they enter. The one who lightens the mood, diffuses the tension, makes the unbearable bearable for everyone else. And then they go home and sit with their own unbearable thing completely alone. Because there's no audience for that version, and they're not sure they know how to exist without one. This is what psychologists call the sad clown paradox. The more convincingly someone performs happiness, the less visible their actual pain becomes, even to the people closest to them. Research published in the British Journal of Psychology found that highly humor-oriented individuals score significantly higher on both resilience and loneliness simultaneously. They survive better and suffer more invisibly, both at once. And here's something that will sit with you.
Most of them don't even realize they're doing it. The humor isn't always a conscious choice. It's a reflex. Pain arrives, and the joke comes before the feeling does. They've practiced this so many times that the performance is faster than the processing. The laugh track plays before they've even decided if they're okay. So they live slightly ahead of their own emotions, always one punchline ahead of the thing trying to catch up with them. Ask them directly how they're doing, and watch what happens. The first response is always a joke. Always. Not because they're deflecting. Well, partly because they're deflecting. But because genuine answers feel dangerously unperformed, unedited, too raw for an audience they're not sure is safe. They've learned that being funny makes people stay. Being vulnerable makes people uncomfortable. And people who learned early that their needs made others uncomfortable became very good, very fast at making sure they never seemed to have any. And relationships? This creates a specific kind of loneliness that's almost impossible to explain.
So they keep performing, not because they want to, because they're not sure what's left if they stop. Here's what rarely gets acknowledged. The humor is real. It's not fake. The joy they create in rooms is genuine. The connections they build are real. The lightness they bring matters. But it is only half the story, and they deserve to tell the whole one. The funniest people you know are often carrying the heaviest things. They just got exceptionally good at making the weight look like a prop. And maybe that's what they actually need. Not someone to fix them,
not someone to analyze them, just someone who laughs at the joke and then quietly says, I see you though, the real you, not just the punchline. Because behind every perfectly timed joke about their own pain is someone hoping, just once, that someone will care enough to ask what actually happened. That's not just psychology. That's one of the most human things there is. If this one hit home, subscribe to Mind Candid. New psychology deep dives every week.